Sorry, I got kicked out. I don't know why.
No, the time went off. I'm so sorry.
Okay, gotcha. That's who's going too. Almost done, bro.
Yes. So in Vedic period, are you there? Yes. So in Vedic period, 4 books were found. What are those 4 books? What are those 4 manual? The first manual was Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajur Veda, and the 4th one is Atharva Veda. Rig Veda means the book of mantras. The book of mantra. M-A-N-T-R-A. Rig Veda. Samaveda means the book of songs. S-O-N-G-S. Songs. Yajur Veda means the book of rituals. Rituals. Yajur Veda means the book of rituals. Atharva Veda means the book of spell. Spell. S-P-E-L-L. Spellings. So these 4 books were found in this Vedic period. And out of these 4 books, in first book, Rig Veda, the word yoga was mentioned. The second era was of Upanishad. Now some more books. Upanishad. U-P-A N-I-S-H-A-D-S. Upanishads. U-P-A. I will repeat. U-P-A N-I-S-H-A-D-S.
H-E-E-B.
I will repeat again. U-P-A-N-I-S-H-A-D-S. Upanishads. Now these Upanishads, again, these were found in 700 BCE. These books were found in 700 BCE. Now understand the gap, the generation. The first book was between 4000 and 1500 BCE. Now there is a huge gap. After 1500 BCE, after so many generation, in 700 BCE, again we found Upanishads. Those were 108 books. 108 books. So in Vedic period, only 4 books were found. In Vedic period, only 4 books were found. Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajur Veda and Atharva Veda. But in next generation, in next era, in 700 BCE, we found a bundle of 108 books. And we called them Upanishads. Upanishads, the literal meaning is sit down near me. So this was the concept of teacher-student. This was the concept of campus. You know campus, Cambridge University, Boston campus, Cambridge campus. So the concept is taken from the Upanishad. So what we do in a campus, We leave our home, we stay in a campus, we eat in a campus, we learn in a campus. So we join the university, we join the campus. So this thought, this concept was taken from the Upanishad. So what is the literal meaning of Upanishad? Come here, sit here, stay with me and learn the process. So the concept of teacher student was taken from 700 BCE. So this was the era of Upanishad. In this also, in these 108 books, the word yoga was found. The word yoga was found. Now the third era was Bhagavad Gita, which was found in 500 BCE. Bhagavad Gita.
Good.
What is
Bhagavad,
that?
B-E.
I'm writing Bhagavat, Bhagavat, BHAGAVAD, Bhagavad, Bhagavad Gita, 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 GITA,
B-I-T-A.
Bhagavad Gita. Now Bhagavad Gita came into existence around 500 BCE. 500 BCE. 500 BCE. Now in Bhagavad Gita also you found the word yoga. And the Bhagavad Gita is the conversation between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. It is the songs of Lord. What is Bhagavad Gita? It is the songs of Lord. Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Now Krishna was giving lessons to Arjuna. We will discuss this in brief when we are doing Bhagavad Gita. Now Krishna was telling Arjuna about Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Now four different yoga were found. The first one was Bhakti Yoga. BHAKTI, Bhakti. Bhakti Yoga. BHAKTI.
B-H-A-K-T-I.
Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means devotion. Bhakti means devotion. So Lord Krishna was telling Arjuna how to do the devotions. Bhakti Yoga. Then Karma Yoga. Karma. K-A-R-M-A. Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga. Karma means action. Karma Yoga. Karma means action. Do the action without any results. Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga. G-Y-A-N-A. Jnana. Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga means knowledge. Last but not least, Raja Yoga. R-A-J-A. Raja Yoga. Raja Yoga means royal path. So in Bhagavad Gita, when was Bhagavad Gita found? It was found in 500 BCE. And the word yoga was found. 4 different yoga was found. And those were Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga. And this is the conversation between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. This came under pre-classical era. Pre-classical era was divided into three eras. First was Vedic period, second was Upanishad, third was Bhagavad Gita. Pre-classical era. Yes? Any confusion? Vedic period, Upanishad period and Bhagavad Gita period. Vedic period was somewhere around 4000 to 1500 BCE. Upanishad was 700 BCE. Bhagavad Gita was 500 BCE. Yes? Bhagavad Gita, the word yoga was found in Bhagavad Gita. That four words are Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Upanishad, 108 books were found. In that books, yoga was found. Vedic period, 4 books were found. Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda and Atharva Veda. Out of that 4 books in Rig Veda, yoga was found. So this is all about pre-classical era. Yes, now I will jump to classical era. Classical era was between 500 to 400 BCE. Classical era was between 400 and 500 BCE. Classical era was between 400 and 500 BCE. Now this was the era when Patanjali came into existence. Sage Patanjali. Sage Patanjali. P-A, yes, P-A-T-A-N. I will repeat. P-A-T-A-N-J-A-L-I. Patanjali.
Is B or P? P.
P as in P as in Paris.
P.
P as in Paris.
Ah, P. Okay.
P as in parks.
Okay.
Now this fellow, he was very smart. He was very knowledgeable. He was very grammarian. This sage Patanjali. You know this fellow, Patanjali? No?
Heard of him.
You have not heard about him? Okay. Let me tell you the story. Sage Patanjali. He's an incarnation of Adishesha. Adishesha is a serpent. Okay, let me tell you the story of Sage Patanjali. There was one lady, Gonika. Gonika. G-O-N-I-K-A. Gonika. She was a great follower of Lord Shiva. She was a great practitioner of yoga. She was expert in yoga. and she wanted to give this knowledge to the next generation. She wanted to give this knowledge to the next generation. So she phrased Lord Sun that, hey Lord Sun, I want to share my knowledge of yoga to the next generation. So give me a son. So give me a son. And at the time of phrasing to the Lord Sun, she was requesting Lord Sun, who Gonika. Gonika was requesting Lord Sun that, hey Lord Sun, give me one son so that I can share my knowledge to my son, and my son will distribute this knowledge to the next generation. So he will give the knowledge to the next generation. At the same point, Lord Vishnu was sleeping on serpent Adishesha. So Lord Vishnu is incarnation of Lord Shiva. Okay, he was sleeping on serpent Adishesha. I will send you the picture of Adishesha as well, and the Lord Vishnu as well. Okay, now he was sleeping on the serpent. The serpent was coiled, and the coiled was like a bed. So the serpent made as a coil, and on that coil Lord Vishnu was sleeping, and while sleeping he went into a deep sleep and he started dreaming. Lord Vishnu started dreaming, and in his dream Lord Shiva was dancing. Lord Shiva was dancing in his dreams, and it was a wonderful dance that Lord Vishnu started trembling. He started vibrating. Wow, what a wonderful dance. Okay, so he was enjoying in his dream, in Vishnu's dream, Lord Vishnu was enjoying Lord Shiva's dance in his dream, and in that dream he was shivering, he was dancing, and Adishesha, the serpent got surprised. Why my owner, why my Lord Vishnu is shivering, why he's trembling, why he's dancing in his dream? And the coil got separated and Vishnu got awake. Then Adishesha asked Lord Vishnu, why you were dancing in your dream? Then Vishnu said, I was watching a dream of Lord Shiva, and that dance was so beautiful, that dance was so energetic, and he gave the explanation of the dance to Adishesha, to the serpent. Serpent got impressed, and then serpent said, even I want to learn that dance. So Vishnu said, okay. What I can do is I will send you to the earth in a human form, so that you can learn that dance. And this scenario and the Gonika who was phrasing Lord Sun, the scenario matched. The timings were matched. The time at she was phrasing in front of Sun on the river bank with a Anjali. So this is a gesture of Anjali. So when you are phrasing, you have to phrase, when we are phrasing in front of Lord, we have to phrase in this way. So in this way Gonika was phrasing, hey Lord Sun, give me a son. And the Adishesha and the Vishnu conversation was the second story. So what Vishnu did, okay, he heard the prayer of Lord, the lady Gonika. He heard the prayer of Gonika. So he said, okay, Adishesha, I will send you in a human form. So what he did, he grabbed the Adishesha, he grabbed the serpent, and he throwed onto the Gonika, Anjali. So the process of throwing is pata, P-A-T-A-N, patan, pata. So the process of throwing is pata. and the Anjali, the gesture Anjali, this is the gesture of Anjali. So the throwing process and the Anjali, it became Patanjali. So the process of throwing and into the Anjali, it became Patanjali. So that is why the name of the sage is Sage Patanjali. Got the story? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
Sage Patanjali is the incarnation of Adishesha, the serpent. So if you see the image, I will send you the image of Sage Patanjali also. His head is like a serpent and the body is like a human body. Yes. So this is the story of Sage Patanjali. This Patanjali is the son of Gonika and incarnation of Adishesha, the serpent. Now what this Patanjali did, he went back, he read all the pre-classical era. He read the Vedic period, he read the Upanishad, he read the Bhagavad Gita. Now what he did a very smart work. He 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 did the control F. You know control F, control find.
Okay.
Yes. So what did he did? Sage Patanjali, he did control F in Vedic period, he did control F in Upanishad, he did control F in Bhagavad Gita. What did he find? He found yoga. So he found yoga in all the eras and he compiled everything in one book and he gave the name Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So Sage Patanjali is a compiler. He combined everything, he took everything from the pre-classical era and he compiled a book, a manual, a Bible, I will say, and he gave the name to that Bible Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali, Patanjali, Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Patanjali Yoga Sutra.
How to
Yes.
spell the sutra?
Sutra. Sutra. Now this Patanjali Yoga Sutra is divided into 4 chapters. 4 chapters. Chapter 1 is concentration, Samadhi Pada, Samadhi, Samadhi Pada, Sam,
Samadhi.
yes, Samadhi Pada, Pada, Pada. I will repeat the entire word Samadhi, Samadhi. Samadhi Pada. Samadhi Pada means concentration. Now Samadhi Pada contains 51 sections. 51 sections. 51 sections. So chapter 1 concentration, there are 51 sections. Chapter 2 sadhana pada, sadhana, sadhana, sadhana. Sadhana means practice. Sadhana means practice. Sadhana means practice. Sadhana. Sadhana pada. Sadhana pada means practice. Practice chapter 2 contains 55 sections. 55 sections. The third one is Vibhuti Pada. Vibhuti. Vibhuti. Vibhuti Pada. Vibhuti Pada. Vibhuti. Vibhuti Pada. Vibhuti Pada. Vibhuti Pada means progress. Progress. 56 sections are there in progress. And the fourth pad is Kaivalya Pada. Kaivalya. Kaivalya. Kaivalya Pada. Kaivalya.
Kaiva.
Lya. Kaivalya. Kaivalya. Kaivalya Pada. Kaivalya Pada means liberation. Liberation. Liberation is divided into 34 sections. So in very systematic way, Sage Patanjali has understood the pre-classical era, and he divided his book into 4 chapters. In first chapter he talks about concentration, how to bring the concentration within you. Then after concentration, once you are ready, when you are perfect in your concentration, then start your practice. After practice, once you complete your practice, then how to progress into that practice. And once you progress into that practice, you are ready to liberate yourself. You are ready to enlightenment. So these are the 4 chapters which he have divided and he has given us. And these chapters are also called as classical yoga, Raja Yoga. Sage Patanjali talks about 8 limbs of yoga. 8 limbs of yoga. What are those 8 limbs of yoga? He talks about yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So this is often called as classical yoga, classical era. Yes?
They have a notes for all of this, is it?
Yes. I will send you the manual. Yes. Yes. I will send you the notes and I will tell you the page number what I have covered today. Okay? Now this was all about classical era. The first era was pre-classical. What happened in pre-classical? It was Vedic period, it was Upanishad period, it was Bhagavad Gita period. All this period was learned by Sage Patanjali. What did Sage Patanjali did? He went back into that era. He learned everything. He took everything. He did the Control F. And he found the word yoga. He tried to find the word yoga. And he compiled everything in one manual. That manual, he gave the name after him. He gave the name Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and that book, that manual is divided into 4 chapters: Samadhi, Sadhana, Vibhuti and Kaivalya Pada. Concentration, practice, progress and liberation. Altogether there are 196 sections. If you see that there are 196 sections, you will find it. 51 concentration, practice 55, progress 56, and liberation 34. Now the third era, post-classical era. Post-classical era. What happened in post-classical era? Post-classical era was between 1400 to 1500 BCE. Post-classical era, 1400 to 1500 BCE. Now in classical era there was, yes.
Sorry, sir. Yes. I think I need to go now because I got something to do. Can you will send the link, is it the recording?
Yes, yes. I will send you the recordings.
Thank you very much.
Yes, yes. We will finish it off in 10 minutes.
10 minutes only, is it?
Yes, only 10 minutes.
Okay, then. Okay, I will continue.
So post-classical era. Now in classical era there was sage Patanjali. In post-classical era there was sage Swatmaram. Swatmaram came into existence. Swatmaram. Swa. S-V-A-T. Swat. Ma. M-A. Ram. R-A-M-A. Rama. So altogether Swatma Rama. Swatma Rama. S-V-A-T-M-A-R-A-M-A. Swatma Rama. Now he wrote a book, Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Hatha. H-A-T-H-A. Hatha. Yoga. Y-O-G. Yoga. Pradipika. Pradipika. P-R-A-D-I-P-I-K-A. Pradipika. Pradipika. P-R-A-D-D-I-P-I-K-A. Pradipika. Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Now there was a conflict. So what did the sage Patanjali says? If you want to liberate yourself, if you want to get enlightenment, you have to follow the 8 limbs. What are those 8 limbs? We will discuss in our next theory class. Those 8 limbs were Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. But what Swatmaram says, no need to follow those 8 limbs. Just do the asana practice, pranayama practice, shatkarma, and so he gave only four practices, asana, pranayama. So what Swatmaram said, ki for everyone it is not possible to follow all those 8 limbs. So I will create a shortcut. So he created a shortcut to reach the liberation. So he created a shortcut to reach the enlightenment. So I will share you both the books, the Patanjali Yoga Sutra and the Hatha Yoga Pradipika as well. So Swatmaram was very smart. So he read the book Patanjali Yoga Sutra as well, and he thought ki for everyone this is not possible to follow all the 8 limbs, 8 rules, 8 observations, 8 disciplines. So he said, okay, I will create some shortcut to reach the enlightenment. So he said, okay, no need to practice everything, just practice asana, pranayama, shatkarmas, dhyanas, mudras and bandhas. So he gave a shortcut to reach the enlightenment. So I will share you both the books, and then you can compare and you can follow. If you want to follow the 8 limbs, you can follow the sage Patanjali, or if you want to follow Swatmaram, you can follow the Swatmaram to reach the enlightenment. Now the modern era. Today's era. Modern era. This is the fourth era. We are on the last era now. We are discussed pre-classical, we have discussed classical, we have discussed post-classical. Now I will discuss the modern era. Modern era started somewhere around 1800, 1900, 19th century. Modern era started when Swami Vivekananda started traveling to the Western countries. Swami Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Vivekananda,
Yeah.
Viveka, Viveka, Nanda, Nanda, Vivekananda. He started traveling to the West. Then T. Krishnamacharya, he started his first school of yoga, Hatha Yoga school. Shivananda, Sivanand, Shivananda, he started a Divine Life Society. Then you know Beatles. Yes, the Beatles, the singer, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was associated with Mahesh, Yogi Mahesh. And he created the meditation, the transcendental meditation. Then the hot yoga, Bikram yoga. Then the Osho. Then the Sadguru, Vasudev. So these gurus, these teachers, they started practicing and they went into the Western countries and they gave the knowledge of yoga. This was the modern yoga. Now today we have hot yoga, we have goat yoga, we have beer yoga. Yes. So this is the history of yoga, which is divided into 4 different era: classical, pre-classical, classical, post-classical, and modern today's era. So pre-classical, Vedic period was there, Upanishad were there, and Bhagavad Gita were there. In classical era, sage Patanjali came into existence. He read all the books from pre-classical era. He did the Control F like a laptop, like a computer. He searched the word yoga from all the pre-classical Vedic period, Rig Veda, Upanishad, and Bhagavad Gita. And he took everything from all those books and he compiled it into one book. So he made it very easy to read us. And he created a Bible and he gave the name of Bible Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Then the third fellow came, Swatmaram. He gave a shortcut to reach to enlightenment, and that shortcut book name is Hatha Yoga Pradipika. And then the today's modern era, the today's teachers, they started traveling to the West and they gave the knowledge of yoga to the Western people. Yes, we'll meet tomorrow at 6 o'clock, same time. Parks, you can join me after half an hour after your class. I will send you the manual, I will send you the links, I will send you the pictures and everything in the group.
Thank you.
Parks, join the WhatsApp group so that it will be more easy to share everything. Because in Instagram, I don't have access.
The Instagram?
I cannot attach the, what do I say? The PDF.
Okay. I sent my number to Sam. Cool.
Namaste.
Namaste, Kanti. Thank you.